For
Right.
me, that spoke volumes because as a husband, I knew that that was going to be what was going to be our ground there. He wasn't just going to uh, neglect the most important thing, which is relationship with our Heavenly Father,
Mm-hmm.
just to have momentary, a job that's going to pay just to pay bills or just to have money or food on the table. Oftentimes, I remember expressions where, if God can clothe the lilies of the field, uh, how much more so will He take care of those who, look to Him for help and guidance. So that always stuck with me, and that was a profound quality that I really appreciated when I was able to see that unfold. So that was before we were even married. So I knew what kind of head he would be if we were to get married in that respect. Also, too, he mentioned his mom needing his help. Granted, he did have other siblings, but because he was unemployed, it opened up time. He had
Mm-hmm.
time to be able to display altruism towards others. And his mother was in need of help because she had knee replacement surgery. His best friend, one of his best friends, also had a horrible injury with his knee and needed assistance going to physical therapy. He couldn't drive, so he was able to use that opportunity to help someone else in the times that they needed, in their time of need. And he mentioned also another tragic trauma that happened, unexpected to both of us. We were actually on the cusp of he was on the cusp of just trying to get employment. I was actually transitioning from careers to substitute teaching at the time. I was actually taking the course to start as a substitute teacher. And I ended up getting hurt very badly to the point where I suffered a traumatic brain injury and broken ankle in 3 places because of trampling. A crowd of people trampled over to get into an event.
Mm.
So it was uncertain as to the outcome of my recovery, um, whether I would remember anything, whether I would know who was who, whether I would have cognitive issues. Um, and so he was there. Um, he was there throughout that whole process of recovery. He even did physical therapy with me. I had to learn to walk all over again. It's like, the pain of it all, but yet, he was there. And the challenge we had in that was was I going to um, just wallow in self pity and say, "Woe is me"? Was I going to just throw my hat in and say, "I can't do this anymore"? Um, was I going to neglect my spirituality as a result of the trauma that I had suffered? Was I going to
Right.
become embittered and enraged at the people who did that to me? Was I going to hold on to that and, you know, go to the point where that was going to be damaging to my relationship with God? Um, and so that was a lot of inner turmoil that I had to kind of contend with, unbeknownst to him. They can only see the outside. Outside, I looked okay. I was recovering, but a lot of it was emotional. And so that was some things that people weren't aware of that didn't know me, or even if they did know me, they didn't know that a lot of it was internal and unseen. And so that was a challenge. Him being understanding, him trying to understand how I was feeling, how this trauma made me feel, how it changed me as a person, because it was definitely life changing. Um, and whether he was willing to take on um, that challenge, because it was a challenge. Uh, suffering from a little depression, not knowing whether my mental faculties were going to deplete or deteriorate over time, whether I was going to be uh, able to move and have full function of my leg. So all of those were uncertain things, and so the fact that he was there throughout the whole process, throughout the whole ordeal. Um, like I said, it also helped to seal the bond that were forming, and we
Absolutely.
were able to see each other at our worst,
Yeah.
and what we would do in those circumstances and situations, and that really helped us to really like become that much more closer to each other. even before we got married.
Yeah,
So it was almost like the bond
was already there, you know.
And so yeah, so it was. I mean, I'm doing better. I can walk and all that. I was in a wheelchair, confined to a wheelchair for a while. Couldn't walk. I was on crutches. He would oftentimes push me in the wheelchair throughout and out. You know, so I just was able to see what kind of person he would be. God forbid, if we were married, if I became incapacitated or I had an illness that was incurable, what would he do? Would he leave at the first sign of trouble? Or would he stay and work through it and he help until he can support? And vice versa, he was able to see what kind of woman I was. Because I got to leave at the first sign, oh, you don't have a job? Well, I gotta do what's best for me. I have money. You know, no, that wasn't my mindset. I was supportive of him. I was confident that he would find work. Was it challenging? Yeah. We had to delay our engagement as a result of that.
Oh, wow.
Work for a long time. My recovery took almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
To recover from the injury. So I was out of work. I took work. He had just started working shortly after I got injured.
Yeah.
And so he had to start to build up his savings and build up. So we had to put our engagement on hold for a whole, another year.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of pressure from outside persons who meant well.
We met well.
They meant well. They always are asking, when is the wedding? When are you
gonna marry? Why you didn't propose to her yet? And
when is propose? And we couldn't even buy a ring because we didn't have a job at the time.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of keep outside influences
away what we were trying to accomplish.
And that was a challenge in itself because these ones meant well. These ones were friends of ours, family members who were just wanting the best for us. They saw the difficulties that we both suffered and had to come through, and they offered, they helped, they wanted to help financially, but we wanted to say, hey, when we're ready and we feel like we can move forward, because marriage, wedding day is just one day. The marriage is a lifetime. And so we wanted to plan for life, not just for the one day. And so that was the challenge. We had these challenges, but yet, our personal relationship with our Heavenly Father, God, was what took first place, and then everything else after.
I'm just going to point out, full disclosure, for those that are listening, these questions were not scripted. They didn't know what was going to be discussed today. But one reason that I brought that one up is because we have the privilege of having you as dear close friends. And we knew that you overcame tremendous hurdles before you said, I do.
Yes.
And that speaks volumes to your character and why you have such a strong foundation in your union. We thank you because you set a remarkable example of letting your actions speak louder than words.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to share this video and like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at @NewYouWow. Until next time, stand tall in your power and remember, your belief in yourself is your superpower.